Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to be working on both some maintenance in the way of perennial cutback and weeding, and we're going to do a little bit of planting as well. We've got two different varieties of perennials to pop in the ground. These are gorgeous. They're called Opening Act Romance Phlox. Look at how pretty this pink color is, and you can see that these are loaded with buds. So we're just going to have so much color from these. I really like this one because it only grows 20 to 22 inches tall. So it's kind of mid-sized as opposed to, you know, like the really low growing phlox or the taller growing phlox, which I've got a couple other varieties I wanted to show you in the area that are looking really pretty. Like this pink one right here. This is called Prismatic Pink. And this is a taller variety. This one grows closer to like 2.5 to 3 feet tall. So it's still a little bit shorter than some of the other older varieties of tall phlox, but look at the color here. They're just so pretty. You can see that they're getting bathed in morning light at the moment. This is right where we put our new arbor. This area is just gonna form up beautifully. I think you can see the bistro set in there. And these Prismatic Pink I planted last spring. And then I've got some sunset coral down the way. I don't know if you can see it. It kind of grabs your eye down there. It's a pretty morning, little breezy, but it's not going to be as hot today. It was 103 yesterday, so I'll take the breeze, and 93 is our high today. But look at this one right here. When I first planted it, I was unsure if I liked how bright that color was right here, but I've really enjoyed it. So you can see this one's a little bit more mid-sized too. I'll have to look up the stats, but this one's staying right around 2 feet. And it looks really pretty right in here, doesn't it? Really nice color because everything around it is a little bit more soft, so it works. And we recently planted some of the Luminary Backlight. It's the white tall garden phlox on the west side, and it's doing really well, looking beautiful. Okay, and this is the second type of perennial we're planting today. It's a variety of Helenium called Carnival something. Hold on. Carnival Helen's Flower. Oh, there's two tags in that one. Carnival Helen's Flower. And I just think they are the sweetest looking blooms. I wintered these over in the high tunnel. We're going to be planting these near the pond area. And they're kind of a burgundy mustard sort of color, but I like the centers. They look like little buttons, and they look like something you would find out near a stream in the mountain areas around us. But you can tell just based on what they're doing in their containers that they'll grow taller, so about 3 feet tall, 2 to 2.5 foot spread, hardy down to zone 4, I think. Yep. Drought tolerant, long blooming. Both of these are long blooming. This one starts in a little bit earlier, like early summer through late summer into early fall. And this one starts about midsummer and goes through the rest of the season. So those are the things we're going to plant. And then I've got 2 spots out in the garden right here where we're standing, and then up closer to the house where we're going to do some weeding and cutback. We're going to start about right where the arbor is. You can see I've got my tools here. This is what I'm going to be using. I've got the Cape Cod weeder, which is so handy for grass removal. Look at that. It just slicks that grass right out of there. And my kneeling pad and gloves. And we are just going to go along the edge here, and I want to clean even the chamomile. You can see this kind of ferny looking stuff. That's chamomile, which I love, but it's a little bit too close to the edge. It grows quite large, and then it wants to flop over the grass. So I want to clean up at least a foot back. And we're going to go around the corner doing that, just kind of maintaining the edge here, all the way to about where we've just planted the daisies. I'd like to deadhead those. They're doing great. I'd like to deadhead them. I'd love to get this area mulched. We won't have time for that today probably, but get those cut back, clean up the iris. A couple more things I might cut back. You can see the eryngium is kind of leaning over, and it's got fresh growth at the base. So I might cut those back just so we can get some fresh growth on those. And I was going to cut back the yarrow, but I think I'm going to hold off because I think you can see how windblown it is right here. I need to plant like a boxwood hedge or something to be a barrier. I just don't want to cut it back and then have the phlox completely exposed on a super windy day. It's supposed to get worse. I don't want that flopping over. So that can wait for now. But it's just so pleasant out here. I've been kind of looking forward to coming out here and cleaning up this edge because I think it's going to be a little bit satisfying. It will be for me at least. Let's get after it. There goes Aaron. He's mowing this morning. Everyone's wanting to take advantage of this nice breeze. It is looking so much better. Look at the edge. Oh, got that all slicked up. Deadheaded some buddleia, cut back the flopped over eryngium in here. The echinacea, echinacea's a little flopped over too. I need to get some other taller things planted, like I mentioned. I think I mentioned that before, in front. And then we'll start working on right behind it as well. I was noticing though, look at this. We've got some ripe service berries. Look at this. They're nice and squishy. I planted this out here. I think this, was it the same day I planted the phlox maybe? Oh, now they're good. I'm gonna have to let the kids know they love to eat those. I deadheaded the rose that's back there. Continued on with the grass cleanup on the edge, grass and chamomile. It just looks so much better. Oh my gosh. And looking back this way, it looks so much more tidy. The eryngium was just laying on top of the supertunia right here. And this has aphids. Oh my goodness. Or it did. All of the supertunias got sprayed yesterday with BT for budworm, and we were noticing some activity, some aphid activity on them, so we mixed in some pyrethrins in with it. Can't remember what the actual name of the spray is. Pyrethrins the active. It's an organic spray. Anyway, maybe we can put the bottle or the name on the screen. But I continued on right about to where I said I was going to stop there because the edge is looking pretty good beyond that. Deadheaded the daisies, they look much more fresh, and cut back all the iris right in there. And the whole time I was able to smell this chatalpa, which is kind of splayed out. It's not growing like any of my other chatalpas have in past years, but I don't care. It smells so good and it's blooming its head off. There's also a beautiful calycanthus in here, as well as the one that we transplanted the other day. I'll show you that in a second. It's looking really good. But these blooms, they smell like grapes, like Concord grapes that are warm on the vine. If you know what that smell is, you know. It's just the most wonderful smell. These aren't as highly, like they don't perfume the entire area like the chatalpas do, but they are a wonderfully fragrant flower. And they take on a different fragrance based on where they're at. And I think the chatalpa do too. I've been noticing this year in particular, so many of you guys have planted them, and some of you have said that they smell amazing, and some say that they're not getting any scent at all. And I think it has to do with environmental things. Soil, heat, humidity, all those things can factor into how fragrant a plant is. So for those of you who aren't getting the fragrance, oh, I'm bummed for you. At least the flowers are big and showy. Yeah, look at this one, the calycanthus that we dug up on that really hot day. It wilted immediately, and it's doing great though. So we'll just make sure it stays nice and moist, and it will continue to hopefully grow. Our pufferfish hydrangeas are looking gorgeous. Look at those. Got a nice drift of them in here. And that was our project yesterday. I also ended up with a big, beautiful bunch of eryngium, which I'm going to find a bucket for. And I'm just gonna leave them upright and let them dry like this, and then we can use them in dried arrangements. Aren't they beautiful? So I think this one's blue glitter, and then we have white. Is it blue glitter and white glitter? I don't know, but one of them is definitely more white. One of them has more blue, and the blue is more vivid the earlier you cut them, but the pollinators love these flowers so much. It's in my top 5 for pollinator attracting perennials. Perennials, yeah, did I say that right? Perennials that attract pollinators. Anyway, it's in my top 5 for sure because of the diverse amount or diverse variety of pollinators it does attract, not just honeybees, but all kinds of things. So I always leave them up past the point of like prime color, but the stems are still beautifully blue. I love them. Okay, I think we'll go plant the phlox next. Okay, we're on the opposite side of the south garden from where we just were. We were just right over there. And I think the phlox are gonna look gorgeous right here. Just absolutely beautiful. I was just thinking though, as I was saying, they're gonna be gorgeous here. I need to bump them back just a little bit because of how tall they get. So I'll just scoot everything back just a tiny bit, and I think they're gonna be great. In this same area, we've got some nepeta that we never cut back. And you can see the fresh growth coming out the center and the older growth around the outside. I don't know. I might try to clean that up a little bit. It might turn into a full cutback situation. But we've also got some incredible, Invincible lime, incredible lime. Which one is it? I don't know. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of those, and they go around this area and go this way. Now I need to replace 2. I lost one here and then in between the last 2, and this one's struggling. a little bit. We've really dealt with some weird water issues in this area, like weird ones. So the creeping Veronica that we have underneath, I think it'll eventually fill in, but I just wanted this whole big area to be full of the two plants, the hydrangeas and that creeping Veronica right below it. And we've got some gorgeous annuals here. This is the James Britannia Safari Sky. Isn't that beautiful? I've just had the best time with the James Britannia. And then we have the Superbena Peachy Keen, which I love the color. It took a minute for it to figure itself out over here and start to bloom. It looked scraggly for quite a long time, but it's now kind of coming into its own. And then we have some of the Marshmallow Bidens in there. This is kind of like a last minute decision just to pop all of these plants in here, and I love it. But I think these phlox will be a really nice addition. So let's get those in and let's deal with whatever's going on here. Okay, phlox are in. They look beautiful right here. And as I was looking at this area, I was thinking, I am on the hunt for a third Renaissance Reflection Birch, which the third one will go kind of this way. So we'll have a little trio here. It'll be hard to find one to match the two that are there, but I think that that would kind of complete that area. And then I was sort of looking at this space right behind. I've got a fastigiate blue spruce that stays really narrow, and that would be really beautiful right in here. Maybe we'll do that one of these days. I do also have a rebloom. I can't remember the name of this one. It's a Weigela. It's put on a tremendous amount of foliar growth. I mean, look at all these branches that came off the original. And I think this one's supposed to be reblooming, which it was in full glorious bloom when we planted it, and it's thrown a few blooms here and there. And while I'd never usually judge a plant based on its first year performance, we'll see what it does next year. But you know, even if it's just a heavy spring bloomer, oh, I see more buds coming out. I think it'll be a really nice texture right here. It's got really nice leaves on it. And then over on the other side, I went ahead and just took the Nepeta down. And ideally we would have got after that sooner, but it just didn't happen. I tried on the first couple of them to just trim off that outer growth, the older growth, and it just doesn't look that great, and it would have taken forever. So I just decided that taking them down all the way would be fine. And we're still early enough to where they will create a leaf canopy and we will have another bloom flush before the end of the season. Okay, so now I would like to head to the pond area to plant the helenium. Okay, we are over here by the pond, and this is where we planted the other helenium, which I'll show you. It's looking pretty good. It was really hot when we planted it, and then they, proceeded to want to wilt quite a lot, but they are starting to root in a bit and looking a little bit better. But I was thinking of just tucking these in a little bit, like right in there. We've got some bobblehead allium, so I can tuck this one here, and then they get such a good size. I thought about just tucking one in the chamomile over here. So we've got a couple of them at different spots, or in different spots rather. I also need to cut back this rue. This is the meadow rue right here, and it's looking pretty crispy. So we'll get that cut back as well. right, we've got our heleniums in, and they look pretty. So there's that one tucked into the chamomile, and this one tucked behind the allium. There are also some Beaujolais loosestrife in here, and then cut back the meadow rue, which, my goodness, it needed it so bad. And our gator is completely full, like overflowing. I need to go handle that. But I think I'm gonna call it for garden projects. I did exactly what I was hoping to get done this morning, cleaning up that one corner area, cutting things back in several areas, got a couple of new things planted. That's a good day. But I do wanna give you one update before we are done. Today, I'd like to take you out to the sunflowers because I think all of them are open at this point and they look so beautiful. Real quick though, here's a close-up look at the meadow rue. Most of them have green growth at the base, so they should flush back fairly quickly. Those two on that side didn't have as much like tall green growth, but it's there. Okay, look at these. So I just made a little SOS phone call to Aaron because I realized the soil's looking really dry. It could be because we were so windy for most of the night. So I wanted to make sure that there wasn't a malfunction with the drip. We'll get that running. But if I can't remember the names of these, we'll throw them up on the screen because I kind of planted willy-nilly, These are the white knights. Aren't these beautiful? The creamy, kind of buttery yellow, whitish tips, and that dark colored center. The honeybees just absolutely love them. That makes me so happy to see. Look at that one. There's 3 honeybees in that sunflower. Then we have the white lights. Look at those. And so these are kind of like along the same lines, except for they've got a yellow center instead of a dark colored center. And then look at these. I think of all, I don't know, these might be my favorite of all of them that are blooming right now. I love the short little petals. I think that makes them look so charming. Just absolutely gorgeous. This variety, whatever it is budded, but not blooming yet. And then we've got the Pro Cut Plum. This isn't the plum. Look at this one. It's got more red at the base. Pro Cut plums are a little bit more burgundy. I don't think those are the same thing. Well, and these back in here, you have even less color toward the center. I don't know. Either way, they're beautiful. And then we've got kind of the classic sunflower right here. These are a little bit more lemony. Some have a really big head and some are a little bit smaller. And then we've got this variety, whatever it might be. I'll watch that video back and try to gather up the variety names, but aren't these gorgeous? Our corn is also looking really nice. It's super tall. It's crazy from year to year how different crops will grow, but like I'm 5'4". These were seeded out here May 12th, I think. But the ears are starting to form up a little bit thicker. Oh, I'm just so looking forward to fresh corn. Look at this one. Like this one's close. I'll wait until the little silks are died down a little bit more, I think. Maybe I could look in there just a little. I don't know if you can see in there, but the kernels are all looking still pretty young. So give it some time. I just couldn't be more pleased with these crops out here. Also, this row is looking great. So these are the California giant zinnias that we seeded not long ago. And then we came out here and weeded the other night. And you can see that we've already got some weeds growing in here. And our artichokes, you can see the weeds definitely in that area. All these button weeds, my goodness. They just are prolific out here. Then we've got a few varieties of feverfew. Love these as a filler. Look at how sweet these blooms are. Oh, and then the fluffy white ones. Gorgeous. Gomphrina's filling in, looking a lot thicker since we weeded. So are the Rudbeckia. Looks like ever since we weeded the first time, they've had a little bit more space, a little bit more light and air, and our dahlias are going for it. These are the ones we started from seed and popped it out here as plants, and then beyond that we've got the ones we started as tubers. And our potatoes are about ready to harvest. We're gonna wait for them to die back just a little bit more, and then we'll take after them. It's interesting from variety to variety. Like these are the Huckleberry Golds. This variety always dies down first. And I can't remember which one these are. Red Pontiacs, I think. Yeah. Red Pontiacs are looking a little more fresh. And our onions are all looking really good. Really nice. I don't see any of their necks flopping yet or bending over. Oh, maybe right here. That one's ready. A little bit smaller than previous years. Maybe it's just this location out here. But we will have plenty. There's so many over there. But anyway, guys, that is it. Just wanted to pop out here quick to give you a little update, show you what the state of affairs is out here. We need to get out here and mow again, probably mow some of these weeds down and weed the rows. But overall, this is a really fun area because it's kind of hands off. I just toss stuff out here thinking, well, we'll just see what happens, and whatever grows, grows, and I'm not going to worry about it or fuss over it. It's just going to be kind of the free area. It most certainly is. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you're having a great day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.